Get the Long Mercury Mantra MP3 at JasonGallant.ca.
Om Brahm Brim Brahm Sa Buddhaya Namaha. Om Brahm Brim Brahm Sa Buddhaya Namaha. Many times people come to the spiritual path because they're looking for answers. They're looking for answers to the never-ending list of problems. Or sometimes they want to have some sort of understanding of pain or of why they had to go through something in their life at some point. And they look to the spiritual journey or to other journeys, just the life journey in general, which really is a spiritual journey, for solutions. They start to create a strategy to make sure whatever painful event happened to them will never happen again. So their entire life starts to sit on the paradigm of avoidance, or it starts to sit on a paradigm of increased power to make sure that they're not stuck in a situation of dependency on anyone or anything ever again. And so begins the journey of separateness. And the separateness on the outside isn't as much of a problem as it is on the inside. When you start to separate from your own divinity and say, I must be on my own, there is an inherent suffering in that. It's really your internality, the reality inside, that the way you experience yourself. When you become separate in there, that's when loneliness, depression, frustration, there's a lot of experiences in there that can be only described as suffering. Okay, so when I speak on these videos, I'm never talking about your life as much as I'm talking about your internal state, how you're experiencing yourself. So as many problems as you come with to the spiritual path, you come with a whole shopping list full of problems. That's why a lot of people's journeys begin with psychicism, they begin with mediumship, they begin with looking for different healers to fix their problems. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's still the game of fixing, but it is a step, okay? But at some point, you discard all solutions because you realize one thing. You realize that your deepest self is the solution. That you are the solution to all of the problems you've ever had. The experience of you on the deepest level is the solve or the balm to all of the overwhelming pain that you've had in your life. And once intimacy with this innermost self happens, then the external life starts to reflect that. But it doesn't necessarily have to. Sometimes many years or lifetimes can take place before the external starts to match the internal. So that's why it's important not to measure your life or measure yourself. It's more important to allow and become receptive to the internal experiences, the internal space that is happening at all times, because it is the medicine for all of your suffering. It is the medicine for the drama that is your life. You're really thirsty, and you're seeking to drink your own wisdom, your own bliss, your own unconditionality. So all of the drama that goes on in your life, all of the drama that goes on in your emotional body, all of these things are meant to tire you out so you finally drink at the rivers of the divine. You finally give up micromanaging events, feelings, thoughts, sensations. You finally give that game up and start to allow everything to be as it is. And by doing so, unconditional love for yourself and all things emerges. And when I speak about unconditional love, I'm not talking about just the emotional love. I'm speaking about the unconditional state that is your birthright. So don't seek so much to win the game. Seek more to become free of it. The funny thing is that once you are free of needing to fix and solve and make things right in your life, once you're free of the need, then once you start to do so, it comes from a place of play. It comes from a place of joy. It comes from a place of passion and a movement of your own spaciousness. And then real creativity comes through. Creativity that is born out of play. And that's really what we're seeking as humans. We're seeking a life of free expression. We're seeking a life of freedom. Because all of us knows that this freedom is our experience. It is our birthright. But first you must find it inside. You must give yourself permission to experience freedom even though the world is showing you otherwise. That's the journey. You're in the jail cell called life, as some people call it. The restrictions, perhaps you have financial limitations, relationship limitations, physical limitations, geographical limitations. These are all gifts because they force you to look inside for your freedom. And once you find that freedom inside, you no longer need anything. And once you've relinquished need, now love is free. Love will be free to be expressed. Being in relationship with someone because they need you as opposed to love you and accept you as you are is a much different experience. And so it also is with your life. When you're no longer needing life to meet your expectations, but you are unconditionally accepting it and loving it as it is, then a real relationship can emerge, a relationship of love. So this freedom inside starts to reflect in your life in this way. And some very beautiful fruit can be born out of this. Like I've said before, a lot of people will have different expressions depending on their kaleidoscope of the mind, depending on what prism their soul is made up of and how it refracts the light. But no matter what reflection it is or refraction it is, it will be beautiful in its own original expression. So don't ask why you have certain challenges or problems in your life, as much as accept them as a gift so that you know in those areas of your life is not where you will find joy or freedom. These challenges are pushing you inwards, challenging you to find the freedom that is already here, despite the circumstances telling you otherwise. I hope this helps. Take care for now.